Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, according to lobbyists, banks are poised to leave the UK because of uncertainty over Brexit. The British Banking Association is warning that smaller banks could start relocating to Europe before Christmas. Well, our reporter Harriet Hadfield joins us now live from Westminster. And what exactly is the British Bankers Association saying?
Well, Sophie, I think this is just a very public version of conversations that I suspect are going on in private between the banks and the lobbyists and the government. The financial sector is incredibly worried about the implications should the UK leave the EU. And it's actually one of our biggest exports, financial services to the EU. And there's something called passporting rights, which allows banks situated in London to serve customers across the 28 member states. And it's also a reason why American banks come and settle in the City of London, because it gives them access to the whole of Europe. So there is this warning now coming from the British Banking Association that the banks could decide to move to the continent so that they can retain that access to all those different countries. The warning comes from Anthony Brown. He's the CEO of the BBA, and he writes today in The Guardian, most international banks now have project teams working out which operations they need to move to ensure they can continue serving customers, the date by which this must happen, and how best to do it. Their hands are quivering on the relocate button. He's predicted some smaller banks could be moving in the next few months, with a potential exodus in 2017. Now, a spokesman from the government has said that the government's keenly aware of the importance of the financial services sector to the UK economy, and it is considering options for a future relationship between the UK and the EU. Now, one solution could be that the industry secures its own deal and continues the passporting regime outside of the single market. Now, it's all quite reminiscent, isn't it, of what we heard during the referendum campaign. Some people will say the warnings about what would happen with the banks and the city. Others will say this is a continuation of Project Fear. But the concern is, if they do indeed hit that relocate button, what would be the implications for the UK more widely and the economy, and could London lose its status as a global financial centre?
Thanks, Harriet.
I've been getting